question says that after formal client acceptance, the project deliverables were provided to the end users, and these users then identified a defect for which the client holds the project manager responsible. What could have prevented this misunderstanding? This is one such scenario which happens almost in every project, every real life project, and that's why I really like these kind of questions, because it connects us as project manager to our real life experiences. So the answer choices for this question is A, removal of project access to all team members after the project closure; B, ensuring project transition procedures; C, a negotiation with the client on warranty terms and conditions; and D, ensuring that the client understood that this was not part of the original requirements. And the correct answer to this question was B, ensuring proper project transition procedures could have prevented this misunderstanding with the project manager by the client team. With this question, I wanted to explain how important it is for a project team, especially for a project manager, to understand the importance of project transition phase towards the closure of the project. And as per my own personal experience in the corporate world, this is one such area which is very, very much overlooked, most of the time completely skipped during the project planning phase. And when we proceed towards the project closure or the UAT and the final demo phases, then we start thinking about how we are going to do the transition, and then actually the planning about the transition happens, which is very, very poor a way of project planning. So when I posted this question, I think majority selected this answer, which is I think 59 to 60% or even more than that went with this option. With that, I understood that people had got this question right, but as I wanted to explain this thought process about the project transition, so I chose this question for the video explanation. So let's in detail check this question. First of all, the client acceptance is done, right? Which means we are done with the execution and the monitoring and controlling phase of the project completely. We have got our sign-offs and the UAT approvals from our client, and this is done and dusted. We can clearly move to the project closure. This first sentence is telling you this. And you have already provided the deliverables to the end user as well. Now, this is an indication of what? That move to the project closure, you are ready to move to the project closure. After the deliverables had been delivered to the project customer, then one fine day, one of the user identified a defect for which he just very upfront, he hold the project manager responsible, which again, in the real world, this happens very often. This is a very, very common thing and very easy thing for the customer to do, that anything happens, just hold project manager responsible, because he is the one who is taking care of everything. No, he is not the one. After he is done with the proper transition, he is not the one. You are the one, if you have accepted or if you have taken over the project transition, or the team or the group or the person who has taken over the transition from the project manager and the project team is responsible. Project manager from the performing organization is no more responsible, and that is the conversation of this question. So let's see it option by option. We are going to talk about the option B in the end, because that's the correct option. But first, let's talk about the other options which are incorrect and why they are incorrect. So option A says removal of the project access to all team members after the project closure. See, in this scenario where someone from the client team is saying that ABC XYZ defect has happened, and that is because of the project manager or the project team, even if you are going to take the control from all the team members in your performing team organization, this situation can still happen. Even if no one from your project team is accessing any file, anything, any server or any artifact which can lead to any kind of unpleasant experience to the customer, this situation can still happen. Why? Because the other party has not taken the ownership completely. Something probably they have misunderstood, something they probably have skipped, something they probably have underestimated during the UAT phase and the during the transition process, or the trainings, or the other steps that project manager or the team probably has taken as part of the transition, and now they are just complaining about that this is a defect, this is the problem, this is the issue, this is not working as expected, or this and that. So even if the access to all the repositories by the project team is removed, this situation can still happen if B has not been properly done. Now, why not C? C says a negotiation with the client on the warranty terms and conditions. So first of all, one needs to know what is warranty. Warranty means those set of services that you are going to offer to your customer, maybe free of cost for a certain period of time, or maybe with some agreed upon cost during that warranty period. And any kind of negotiation on the warranty terms and conditions doesn't happen after the project is uh, towards the closure, or is already done with the closure. The negotiations and the warrant and any kind of terms and conditions about the project happens during the planning phase, when you are planning the procurement, when you are doing that contracting and every terms and conditions about what is going to be included in this contract, what is going to be the scope of work, what is going to be the penalization clauses, terms and conditions, like all of that. So the negotiation is not going to happen at this time. And if it is about following the warranty conditions, and as part of the warranty condition, they can just hold a project manager accountable for anything, no, then that is not going to be the case. Why not D? Ensuring that the client understood this was not part of the original requirements. Now, D can be the option, a good option, and some of the people who had attempted this question on the poll, uh, the next option which has got most of the most of the answers was D, actually, because people has a habit of jumping to the conclusions based on their real life experiences. So in the real life experience, this is very easy to say that, see, this is not part of the scope, and that's why this has not been included, or if this is not working as expected, then that was not part of the scope. Who knows? The situation, the scenario is not leading towards that. Maybe the defect is because of the reason, or because of some scope or requirement that's what's not part of the scope, or maybe the defect is due to some feature or deliverable that was included in the scope, that has been delivered to the customer, and that is not working as expected. Maybe both possibilities are there, but we cannot assume anything. We cannot simply assume that it is not working, or it is a defect, it is an issue, it is a problem just because of the reason it was not there. Why are you assuming? Maybe it was there, it was agreed upon scope, but the other party who has accepted it after the closure of the project, or during the closure of the project, they probably has just not understood it well. That can also be the reason. That is a more valid reason of this issue than like just assuming that something was not there and you just start claiming for something which was not agreed upon. We don't know. Now B is the safest option for avoiding this kind of issue, or at least mitigating it, if not avoiding. So proper project transition. First of all, as per my own experience as a mentor, people or my students, when I ask this, what is a transition, they don't really know what is included in transition. Until and unless you don't know what transition is, what should be included during the transition phase, how can you ensure its importance as a project manager? How can you ensure that this happens for sure during the project during the project closure, or as part of your project closure activities? Transition is handing over of the responsibility from the performing organization to the group or the organization or the team or even a person, a single person who is taking over that responsibility from that point onward. After the acceptance or the customer validation is done, whoever is going to take the responsibility of that project from that point onwards, for that project, or the sustainability or the sustainment or the continued realization of the benefits, that is where the transition comes into picture. Who is going to take the ownership of the benefits for the continued realization and the continued delivery of the benefits from this project. So transition activities include handing over the complete deliverables, the complete product and goods or services, whatever you have produced from this project, handing over of all the plans and artifacts that you have created, handing over of all the important risks or issues which has appeared in the project or which are still open and may impact the benefits or the deliverables of the project from this point onwards. And all the all the knowledge bases, repositories, code bases, or technical documents, or anything which is going to be valid for the other party who is accepting the transition of the project, and that can be helpful for them. And any kind of trainings and user training, acceptance training, any kind of training which is going to be helpful for the end users to get acquainted with the system that you have developed. Any kind of machinery, any kind of tool, software, hardware, which can be relatable. Everything is going to transit because you are just handing over the ownership from your side to the other party. That other party can be another team in the same organization. That other party can be a customer external to your organization. That other party can be a person, maybe like just outside your organization or in your organization. And the other party can be even like as a result of transition, at times new projects and programs also come into picture, and at times the other party can be just simply operations department in your organization or in some other organization. But the purpose of transition is from this point onwards, the project and the continued maintenance and realization or any kind of activities related to the project is going to be their responsibility. So in this situation, if a defect occurs and they just come to the project manager saying that, see, something has happened and this is not working, then the project manager can clearly say, see, I have given you the right trainings. I had given you everything which was required to be done, and you have given me a transition sign-off. You have given me a transition sign-off that, yes, I have accepted everything from Mr. XYZ project manager, and now I am ready to take care of this project from this point onwards. Transition sign-off is actually ensuring the readiness of the other party who is taking over. So if you have ensured the proper project transition procedures after the customer acceptance, this situation is either not going to happen, and if it is going to happen, then you can safeguard yourself as a performing organization very easily that, see, we are done with our part, we have closed the contract, our invoices are cleared, and now this is your responsibility. At times, as part of the transition, some of the roles and responsibilities still lie with the performing organization. At times as part of the contract, some part of the transition for some duration is still with the organization who has done the major project work. But even in that case, the transition procedures is going to certify that this defect is because of the project manager, or this defect is because of the lack of awareness or lack of knowledge of that person in the project. That if the transition procedures are there, that is going to be stated over there. So the transition procedures, the transition planning, the transition documents, and the transition sign-off is going to verify this thing in this situation, that who is at fault, right? And if project manager is not at fault, and if this is just like habitually the other party is just very easily, very conveniently putting the claim on the performing organization, then the effective project transition is going to safeguard that, right? And that's why B is the answer. So I hope you like this conversation, and I hope you now clearly understand that why project transition is important in projects. And if you as a project manager do not take care of this seriously, please start taking care of it seriously in your project. This is going to hugely safe side you from multiple kind of issues or prospective risk in your post project delivery situation, right? So that was the question for today. And if you like my explanation, and if you like this question, and if you have any feedback about this video, please do like my YouTube channel and do provide your suggestions and feedback in the comment section. I will come back very soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourself, and just allow me to say goodbye to you. Take care.